Hey there folks, Uncle Troy here, enjoying the last day of my staycation. And as with the last video I tried to record out here, I swear the wind was not blowing and the birds were not chirping and there was no traffic on the street when I started setting up here. So my last video about this Samsung HMX-F80 video recorder had a few questions posted. In fact, I was surprised how many people watched the video. But then it occurred to me that before I bought this camera, I actually did some searches online and checked videos created by various cameras to decide which one I wanted to buy. Now, unfortunately, once I did decide which cameras I wanted to buy, they weren't available. So I ended up going to 2 or 3 different online retailers looking for an old discontinued camera, because I like the tried and true technology, so you don't have to worry about a recall or a bug that stops things, have to patch your firmware and all that other thing. But none of those were in stock, so I ended up going out and looking at my local retail stores, and the cameras that were on sale at one of the local retail stores, which had the best prices, none of those were in stock. The ones on sale were not in stock, so I ended up going to a different retail store and buying one for full price. But had I actually left the house that day planning to buy the Samsung HMX-F80 video camera, I probably would have done a quick search and watched a video very much like this one. So a couple of questions we had in the comment section left from my last video was, well, it's a nice camera, too bad it's not full HD. And well, it is and it isn't, because HD is kind of a nebulous marketing term. The resolution of the camera is 1280 by 720. And by the way, if you make any weird gestures on your video, no matter where it is in the video, that will be the picture that YouTube decides to use as a thumbnail. Seriously, they always do that. They find the most embarrassing thing. But anyway, this thing records at 1280 by 720. Which is high definition for me, because back in the olden days, standard definition television was only 480. So 720 is fine. Now, sure, it's not the full 1080, of the big high definition, but it's much better than what my little Concord IQ camera here, IQ 4363Z. This thing's a 4 megapixel camera, takes really good still shots, but a couple of faults. One, it's only got a 3x optical zoom, and 2, the video recording is only at 320 by 240, so that kind of sucks for video. In fact, it was the comments about the video quality of this camera that caused me to buy the Samsung that we're recording on here. And in fact, the Samsung there does have a little higher than 720p resolution. It's actually about 10% more, both horizontally and vertically, because the sensor they use is actually just a little bit bigger than 1280 by 720. And so you say, well, why don't you record at that 10% more? Says, well, if I'm going to turn around and share this video with anybody, I'm going to probably process it down to standard HD size. And 2, the extra fudge factor on the edge lets you do the anti-shake technology, the handheld shake. When you're holding the camera, no matter how careful you are, you can't hold it as still as the tripod like the one I'm using here. So you want the extra fudge factor for the anti-shake technology. Another thing asked was how to use the manual focus, which I thought, well, that's an odd thing to ask, because it's in the little quick start guide, it's in the manual. But then it occurred to me that a lot of people don't read the quick start guide, and the manual is actually on a CD, which that'd be nicer if I'd remember to bring the CD out with me. but the manual is actually on a CD, and it's many pages long. But of course, you'd have to remember to, that the CD exists. It was in the packaging. Put it in your computer, find your language, because there's like 100 different files on there for different languages. So let's look around. Let's find us an appropriate target. Be right back. Okay, so here, roughly in the center of the screen, you might see a lovely red, yellow, orange flower. Let's see if we can zoom in a little here. And as you can see, it's not quite in focus, or at least it doesn't look like to me. It's hard to tell, actually, because I'm right here in full sunlight. But there's a little button on the left of the screen. In fact, I'm going to take a picture of it here. Okay, I just took a picture of that button with the with my regular Concord camera. Now, if you hit that button, it'll pull up a little menu. If you select the option down, you can go to manual focus, and you have a left and a right. Left brings you focus closer, right brings you far away. You can also adjust the zoom with this thing. With manual focus, we can focus in on the flower there, and then going this way, we focus on the grass further back. I think it's hard to tell because we're so bright here. Stand by a second. Let me try a different tactic. Okay, same flower from a different angle of me standing in the shade here, so we can actually see if we are indeed focusing. And we put her into manual focus mode, and we go, yeah. If I'm reading this correctly, the grass in the background is coming into focus now. And now everything's out of focus. When we zip back a little, yeah, the grass in the background is now in focus, and we go a little further, the flower in the foreground should be in better focus. And it's really hard to tell this on this tiny little screen out here in the sunlight, even though I am now standing in shade myself. But of course, we can set her back to auto, and let's zoom back out and back in so you can see how the autofocus works. When I was trying to get real close to this flower the other day, it just was not auto-focusing. As you can, all right. Right now I can see the grass behind the flower in perfect focus. The flower itself is fuzzy. So if I zip to manual real quick, there we go. Now the flower is in perfect focus, and the grass behind it is fuzzy. So that's how we do that. And I will post a picture and try to explain this, maybe with some diagrams or something. Who knows? Now, the final thing we're going to discuss today is the time-lapse function. You can reach that through the menu option, the menu button on the screen, and then it's pretty self-explanatory. You just have to left and right with the little track button, and till you find the proper menu option, and then just select how many pictures per second you want it to take. I think that's easier to find than the manual focus, because there's actually a thing that says that. You know, it wouldn't occur to you to hit the little track button to try to find the focus, but I think you can find the time lapse all by yourself. But for a time lapse, it's pretty much vital to set the camera down somewhere where it will not be disturbed, or to set it on a tripod. And me, I like just pointing the camera up at the sky and recording 10, 15, 20 minutes of the sky or the clouds floating by, and then speed it up. You know, well, it automatically speeds up if you're in time-lapse mode, just to see what it looks like. So we're going to do that, and then some other time-lapse video I've already recorded, and then we're going to call this an episode. This is Uncle Troy signing out. Please have a good night.